and sweaty stuff and other stuff. So she just got to the party, Junie B Jones, and all of the people in her class of room 1 have showed up, and she's got her fingers crossed right now that May is not gonna show up, so we'll see what happens. Just as I was getting hope, another car pulled up, and Pooey, sitting in the back seat, was May. May's here, she shouted through the open window. She was clapping and cheering for herself. Then she jumped out of the car and she ran to Lucille's family and she started shaking all their hands. Hello, I'm May, and I've come to win the golden egg, she told them. She skipped to Lucille and held out her dress. Look, Lucille, look, my dress is frilly just like yours, she said. I gave this outfit a lot of thought, 'cause I wanted us to look like best friends today. She threw her arm around Lucille's shoulder. Sheldon ran up and took it off. Whoa. You'll have to pick someone else to be your best friend, May, he said. Lucille is my best friend these days, remember? May stood there a second. Then she leaned into Sheldon's face. You're not fooling anyone, Mr. Potts. You're just pretending to like Lucille. The same as I am, she said. You're just trying to get her to tell you where the golden egg is. Lucille looked shocked at that comment. May is not very nice. That is not true, is it, Sheldon? You're not just pretending to like me, right? She asked. 'Cause I told you before, I don't know where the golden egg is. My daddy hid it all by himself, and he wouldn't let me peek. She glanced at her daddy, very annoyed. I tried to make him tell me where he hid it, Chelsea, but Daddy locked his lips, and he threw away the key. Sheldon clenched his fist. Drat, that old invisible key trick, he said. I hate that one. Finally, he took a breath and calmed himself down. Then he patted Lucille very sweet. Don't worry, my springy little lamb, he said. I will still find the golden egg and win the play date. I'm positive I will win. He lowered his voice, kind of private. I'm wearing a lucky charm today, he said real soft. Lucille's mouth came open at that news. A lucky charm, she shouted. You have a lucky charm? What is it, Chelsea? What is it? Sheldon pointed down at his shirt. See that little egg dribble on my collar right there, he asked. That little egg dribble ran off my chin at breakfast. And look, Lucille, it landed on my collar in the exact shape of... He paused, real dramatic. An egg, he whispered. Lucille did a shiver. Ooh, Chelsea, that seems like magic almost, she said. Sheldon nodded. I know, Lucille, it seems exactly like magic almost, he said. My Grandpa Ned has had every shirt stain in the book, and he said that when egg dribbles lands in the shape of an egg, it means... Sheldon swallowed hard. May the egg be with me. Lucille did another shiver. Sheldon smiled. With a magic egg shirt like this, I can't lose today, Lucille. He said, I just can't. After that, he hurried over to Nana and he tried to show her his egg shirt, but then Nana backed up from him. And she quick grabbed Lucille's daddy and she said the words, do something. The daddy cleared his throat real loud. Boys and girls, may I please have your attention, he said. First, I would like to welcome you all to the party today. Lucille hopped in front of him. Yes, welcome to my party, and welcome to my giant house, and welcome to my big, huge yard, too. She bent down and she touched the grass. See how perfect the lawn is cut, everyone? She said, that's because we have a real professional gardener. On account of rich people don't know the first thing about yard work, right, Daddy? Plus, rich people don't like to get our hands dirty. Everyone looked at the daddy's hands. He quick put them in his pockets. Lucille kept talking. And did everyone see my brand new expensive Easter dress, she asked. She spun around and flounced herself. This dress is made out of fancy, floaty chiffon. The fancy floaty chiffon is as light as a feather, she said. She fluffed her flouncy skirt. Who would like me to hop in the air and make it float? Please clap your hands, she said. But before we could clap, Lucille already started hopping. She hopped until sweaty came on her lip. Then Lucille's mother quick ran over and she dabbed her face with a tissue. I looked at Herbert. This family has some serious perspiration issues, I believe, I said. Perspiration is another word for sweat. Just then, Lucille's daddy cleared his loud throat again. Children, as all of you know, we're going to be having a picnic and an Easter egg hunt today. But for this party to go smoothly, we're going to need your complete cooperation. Okay, he asked. Okay, we shouted back. Okay. The daddy smiled. The first thing I'd like to do is get into a nice straight line, he said. A nice straight line. A nice straight line, we shouted again. Room 1 is excellent at repeating things. The daddy looked at us. Okay, fine. As I was saying, if you get into a nice straight line, we'll lead you to the picnic grounds in the back of the house. The back of the house? The back of the house, we hollered. The daddy stopped smiling. We were starting to get on his nerves, I think. Next to him, Lucille's mother and Nana were doing deep breathing. The brother had already gone inside to watch TV. Finally, all of us got in a nice straight line. Then the mother and daddy and Nana did a group hug with each other, and they led us to the picnic grounds. And wow, I could not believe my eyeballs, because on the way we passed Lucille's huge, big swimming pool, and it was inside a big glass house. All of room 1 did a gasp at that sight. I ran to Lucille and hugged her around the middle. Lucille, you're even richer than you used to be. Your swimming pool in a big glass house now? And so my play date with you will be even funner than I thought. Lucille took my hands off her. Silly Junie B Jones. You know the rules. If you want the play date, you're going to have to find the golden egg. And that's not going to be easy, because my boyfriend Shelzy is wearing his magic egg shirt, she said. She looked at Sheldon and did a wink. Sheldon winked back. He was watching the action. Hey, she grouched. That better not be a secret wink about the golden egg, because if you're winking about the golden egg, I'm telling. She poked Sheldon with her finger. I'm going to be watching every move you make, Sheldon Potts, she said. I'm going to be all over you like a cheap suit. I did a frown at that comment. I do not know what a cheap suit means exactly, but here's what I do know. For the first time in my life, May was right, I think. Whoever wanted to find the golden egg could not let Sheldon out of their sights. Chapter 5 is the jelly bean game. Lucille's daddy clapped his loud hands together. Boys and girls, please find a seat at one of the picnic tables. Lunch will be served shortly, he called. I waited to see where Sheldon was going to sit. May waited too, because both of us had to keep track of that guy, of course. Hi, girls. You can just put them up. Only too bad for me, because as soon as Sheldon picked a table, Lucille sat down next to him. And vroom, May slid in on his other side, and I got shut out. Wait, hold it. Not fair, I said. Then I quick tried to squeeze myself between May and Sheldon, but May would not budge herself. I did a grrr face at her. May hissed like a snake. I stood there very puzzled. I did not actually have a comeback for a hiss. Finally, I went to the other side of the table and I sat down across from them. That silly May, I grumbled to myself. She keeps getting one step ahead of me. Plus Sheldon is one step ahead of me too. I looked across the table. Lucille was whispering to Sheldon very secret. May leaned her head over and she listened through Sheldon's other ear. Whispers can come right through Sheldon's head, apparently. I put my chin on my hand. I don't stand a chance in this egg hunt, I said to Herb. He gave me a little pat. Sometimes a little pat is all a friend can do. Only guess what? Just then, something very nice happened. I wonder what it could be. And it's called, Lucille's Nana walked over to where I was sitting and she sat in a chair at the end of my table. I jumped up real thrilled. Nana, look, it's me. It's Junie B Jones, and you're sitting right exactly next to me, I shouted. The Nana glanced her eyes at Lucille's mother and daddy. Yes, I know, dear. I lost the coin toss, she said, kind of annoyed. I sat back down and tickled her arm. This reminds me of when we ate dinner together last year, I said. That was very fun, except for I accidentally broke your crystal glass. Remember that, Nana? Huh? Do you? So she lost the coin toss means that the mom, the dad, and the Nana did a coin toss to figure out who has to sit next to Junie B Jones. She lost the coin toss, so she ended up having to sit next to Junie Jones. Oh yes, I remember, she said. I thought back. Plus I accidentally busted your feather pillow, and if I'm not mistaken, I spilled beanie weenies on your expensive linen tablecloth. Then Nana looked at me. You're not mistaken, she said back. I smiled and patted her hand. Good times, I said real soft. May heard me talking. Well, Lucille and I are going to have good times too, right, Lucille? When I come to swim in your pool, this will really be good times, she said. Sheldon looked at her and grinned. "Don't count your chickens before they're hatched, May," he said. The Nana did a little chuckle. "I think you mean hatched, dear. It's count your chickens before they hatch, not hashed," she said. Sheldon raised his eyebrows. "Really? Are you sure? Because at our house, my Aunt Bunny brings chicken hash for dinner every Sunday," he said. "Chicken hash is her specialty." He smiled real proud. "Aunt Bunny was a chef in prison," he said. Then Nana's face went funny. She lowered her head to the table and she rested her cheek on her napkin. I leaned my face down next to her. "Speaking of bunnies, Lucille said the Easter Bunny would be here today, only I haven't actually seen him yet. And so where is he anyways, Nana?" I asked. Lucille did a huff at me. "Nosy Junie B Jones, why did you have to ask that question?" she said. "My Nana does not want to talk about that. Do you, Nana? You made a teensy little mistake about the bunny, and you don't want anyone to know about how you almost ruined the party." The Nana did a groan. Lucille kept talking. "My Nana was in charge of hiring the Easter Bunny, only instead of hiring the real Easter Bunny, she hired a cheap fake Easter Bunny. Right, Nana?" The Nana did not reply. Lucille went on. "The fake bunny came to our house to get his pay yesterday, only his fur was real matty and the top of his ears was chewed off, and he told my Nana that he was freshened up nicely. And so Nana gave him cash money in advance, and then he hopped off the front door and he never came back." The Nana raised her head. "Thank you, Lucille," she said. "Thank you for sharing that with everyone." So the Easter Bunny didn't look very good the day before, and she paid him before he did his job, and so he never came back to do his job. "You're welcome, Nana," said Lucille, very pleasant. "You're welcome." The Nana rolled her eyes. Lucille does not understand sarcastic, I believe. Just then, Lucille's daddy stood up at his picnic table, and he said it was time to get the show on the road. He held up a silver bell and rang it in the air. Ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling. Then, boom! Waiters started bringing food from all over the place, and it was the delicious food I have ever saw. There was barbecued hamburgers, and tasty hot dogs, and crispy chicken fingers, and crunchy salad, and yummy potato chips, and Swedish pickles, plus there were even devilish eggs. "Whoa, what a spread," I said. I stuffed a devilish egg in my mouth, and I stuffed in a pickle and some chips and a giant chicken finger. I didn't stop stuffing for a real long time. Then finally I leaned back and I rubbed my big fat tummy. "Whew, I'm about to bust as a gusset," I said. "Are you, Nana, huh? Are you about to bust a gusset too?" The Nana frowned her eyebrows. "Ladies don't bust gussets, Junie B," she said. I was surprised to hear this information. "Really?" I said. "Then what do ladies bust?" Roger raised his head. "At our house, we bust our guts," he said. Herb smiled. "At our house, we bust our buttons," he said. Sheldon stood up. "At our house, we unzip our pants," he said. After that, everyone at our table laughed and laughed, except for not Nana. Finally, all of us got finished eating, and the waiters took our plates away. Then, wowee, wow, wow, Lucille's daddy brought out the most beautiful box I ever saw. I wonder what's in the box. It was wrapped in shiny yellow paper and twirly, curly ribbons, and he held it high in the air so all of us could see. "Whoa! Whose birthday is it?" I shouted, real excited. Whose birthday is it? We know whose birthday it is, right? Lucille jumped up and giggled. "That's not a birthday present, Junie B. It's a game prize," she said. "Before we hunt for eggs, we're going to play a very fun game, and whoever wins the prize will get the thrill of a lifetime. Right, Daddy?" The daddy smiled. "Well, we certainly hope the winner will be thrilled," he said. "It's a pretty good prize, we think." Just then, he put down the box, and he pulled a big jar of jelly beans out of a paper bag. "The game is called the Jelly Bean Game," he said. "Can everyone see all the jelly beans in the jar? We've got lots of colors, don't we? We've got reds and yellows and blues and blacks and greens and oranges and whites." He stopped and held up his finger. "But," he said, "in this whole big jar of jelly beans, there's just one purple one." All of us made a hushy sound. "Ooh," we said together. "Just one purple one." The daddy smiled. Then he put the jar back in the bag so we wouldn't see the colors anymore. "Okay, now I'm going to walk around to each picnic table, and each of you will have a chance to reach in the jar and pull out a jelly bean," he said. "But remember, you may only pull out one, okay?" "Okay," we hollered. "Okay, okay." Lucille hurried over and held up the beautiful box. "And remember this too, The first person to pull out the purple jelly bean will get the prize, she said. The thrill of a lifetime. All of us clapped and we bounced and we giggled and we wiggled and we clapped and we waited for the jelly bean jar to come to us. It was the nervous wait of my life, I think, because what if someone got the purple jelly bean before I even got my turn? That would ruin my whole entire chance. I put my hands in front of my eyes and I peeked through my fingers and I watched the children pick. Roger's table went first. He picked a red bean. Then Chanel picked an orange bean. Camille picked a green bean. Shirley picked a blue bean. My table came next. My heart beat faster. Jose picked a yellow bean, and Lenny picked a white bean, and May picked another white bean, and Sheldon picked a black bean, and then, at last, it was time for me. My heart was pounding like crazy. I bent over and I did some deep breathing. The daddy held out the bag to me. I breathed some more. Okay, Junie B, he said, anytime now. I stood up, did a big gulp, and very slowly, I reached my hand inside. What's gonna happen? Is she gonna get the purple jelly bean? I felt around for purple. Can you feel purple? I winked my eyebrows, real curious. What does purple feel like, I wonder? I said to just myself. The daddy said, please hurry up. I swished my fingers through the jar some more, then all of a sudden I felt it, I tell you. I felt purple. It felt round and beanish and purplish. I grabbed it real tight. Then I quick pulled my hands out of the jar and I opened up my fingers and guess what? Guess what? Guess what? That's the end of chapter 5. I wonder if it's going to be the purple jelly bean. Oh my goodness. I wonder if she's going to win. We'll find out.